what do we have today, huh? We have three bands I want you to check out. If you don't know Motorhead, if you don't know Tom Petty, and Smashing Pumpkins. Okay, and then with Motorhead, we have the Ace of Spades. Okay, and it was the biggest hit in 1980 for Motorhead. We have Tom Petty only did that one live. Okay, so if you were wondering about I'd Love to Love You, Baby by Tom Petty, he only did that one live. And I never heard of it, so that was nice to hear from Jay Knight. And then Steve mentioned in his write up about the mustard rhino, he wrote about Smashing Pumpkins, Rhinoceros, and it even mentions June, and it's June, and this was written months ago. So we did all them in Astro last night. We did those three bands. What are we doing in Astro? We're learning the music for those of you that don't know how to play. They're teaching you how to play it. They're going over the lyrics, and we're also making it more spaceshipy music. So we're changing everything around in Astro. I also have classes that I teach about you come in by me and I tell you all your past lives with me. And it's really fun. So between music and figuring out who the hell you are, it's really fun. But you only can sign up for them classes in Astro. Okay, I don't do it in a physical avatar. In a physical avatar, what I'm doing, especially for those of you that are new, is I'm trying to give you the energy of what's going on so that you can not fail your mission, not get in a 10 of swords, 9 of swords, 8 of swords, where you have anxiety and you feel like you want to give up. Okay, because right now you're at that final line of scrimmage, I guess they call it, and you want that touchdown. Okay, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to go over the cards from the shorts. I'm just going to go over the cards like one big message because there's like, what, 30 cards to go over. So I'm just going to give you one big message, and you can go back to the last three shorts, listen to the music, look at the imagery, match the lyrics to the imagery or the melody, and you get another message that the higher self will give you. I'm going to take all them cards and give you one big energy read for right now. Okay? So that way we don't spend a lot of time on music per se, because once again, I do the Astro classes every single night in Astro. So just before you go to bed, say, hey, let's do this. We're all together. If you're watching this, you are definitely connected with me. Okay, so we have the King of Questings, the first card out, and that's just my moving forward towards your mission, towards your quest. You're a natural born leader, and you have fire in your belly, is what I'm hearing. Fire in your belly. And that is the kind of energy that Motorhead is cranking out with this King of Questing, this King of Wands energy. So when you listen to the beat, the music, the heavy metal draw from Lemmy, from Motorhead, someone says he sounds like a 6-pack of beer and a pack of cigarettes and a bottle of Jack Daniels. Okay, so we've got nostalgia, the Six of Cups. You're reconnecting with the past, but you're taking out what you need to learn and you're saying, I'm not doing that again, or yes, I am doing that again. Okay, so that's the energy there because you're completing your soul contract. Your soul contract is something that you write in astro and you fulfill it here. So I always say you have no one to blame but yourself. So if you're feeling anything besides happy, joyous, and free, your soul contract is what you're playing out. You need to stay the course, but you may have to rewrite it. A good example of having to rewrite a soul contract is you come home and you find your significant other in bed with somebody else. Well, obviously, that ain't gonna fly too well. You had probably written it in your contract so that you could clear up karmic debt with that person and move forward, but you don't see it that way when you walk in on somebody, right? You don't say, "Oh, I wrote that in my soul contract." Nice boy, nice girl. But it's really the truth. We write our own soul contracts, and everything in them is what we put in there. Now, of course, there's free will, you say, but in 5D and higher, we definitely manipulate 3 and 4D totally. So you can think that it was a free will choice that they went out on you or that they slept with your best friend, etc. But really, what it was written in your soul contract and you needed to fulfill it and they needed to fulfill theirs. So that gets kind of tricky to explain. I just hope you can understand that everything is already been done. Everything is on all dimensions. Everything is everything at once. So it really does cut out the stress and the anxiety and the depression when you know that you're the author of your own book and that you can change it at any time. So, what would you want to do there? You would want to close that cycle with that person. You would want to move forward. And you could have wrote in your soul contract, which a lot of times we do, we'll have 2 or 3 options on that one day. So it'll be like, so and so decided to sleep with my best friend. Then the other column says, so and so decided not to sleep with my best friend. And then maybe a third column that says, I'm figuring it out before it even happened because I came home early and they were sitting on the couch a little bit too close. So you had 3 scenarios on the soul contract. Then you actually fulfill that day of that soul contract, and their free will took them in the bedroom, and you're coming in on them in the bedroom. Okay? Where now you're going to close that chapter, get the divorce, and go towards your twin flame that you had written in. The other one might be where you decide to keep this person and fulfill some more with them because they didn't go out with your best friend. They stayed true. Their free will led them in the right way. Okay? And then your twin doesn't come in till later. And then the third option was where you came home and they're just sitting a little bit too close. You could decide to have a long talk with them and tell them, like what I did with my mission partner once, is I said, if you continue down this path, we're not necessarily going to get a divorce, but you're not going to fulfill your mission with me. And that was the path he chose, and we are not together today in the physical. So he could have been here in the physical. They took him at 68 years old. He could have stayed till he was 98, and that's another 6, 7, 8, 9, 30 years. 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. He could have stayed around another 30 years in his avatar, but since he chose that path, he left at 68. So there's different exit points too in these soul contracts. You can leave at different times. You can, just like the three paths that I showed you about you coming home to your significant other in three different paths. Now, I know that went off course a little bit, but that's what they want me to do. They want me to take these cards, and as long as it takes, they want me to explain some of this, because we do have a lot of new people, and we do have a lot of people right now that are trying to get their twin, and they're trying to get rid of the past, and it's hard to bring the new into their old thinking. And the old thinking has to go. And you have to realize that you wrote your own soul contract. And the Queen of Swords is next, and that is the leader. And the truth is what I'm saying. I'm being a Queen of Swords right now and telling you just how it is. And it's confusing with the Seven of Cups. I understand that. But if you can just understand that you wrote your own soul contract and you have the right to change it at any time, and people don't always pick the path you want. Like I said, I would have preferred that my mission partner of 30 years would have stayed on track, but I don't believe he did. So I believe he had to be taken out so that he could go 5D and higher and help me. And now I get my Hierophant. I get my twin flame. Or my next mission partner that is just awesome. Okay? So we're going to devote ourselves to connectedness, and we're going to go within and shield ourselves. And what are we shielding ourselves against? This connectedness. This going forward with leaning on the angels for support, solitude, taking time, making our decisions, going within, and rewriting that contract as we need to. Okay? So, again, I don't do any of this in physical form. I do this all in astro. So, if you're needing help with this stuff, I would suggest you get some help with soul contracts, and the best way to do that is in astro only. But if you're going to do some stuff in the physical, I can't help you with that, but somebody will. They will put them right in your way. Okay, now we have exploring your options with St. Michael, and that's exactly what I just said. There's that Seven of Cups confusion energy on the things that I'm saying. You don't have the some of you don't have the experience that I have, so you may not understand fully what I'm saying. But can you just get the picture of it, that if you wrote your own book, you painted your own picture, or you made your own music, you have the right to change it. Okay? So explore your options. And St. Michael's saying that romance angels are helping you. So if you don't want romance, I don't believe that anybody does not want romance. But if you really don't want romance, then put business in there or your abundance in there. If you're already married and you're really happy, great. It's just going to get better. And if you're single, focus, focus, focus. On what? On you. The more you get in balance and the more you get loving yourself and happy with who you are, that's how the romance angels can help you, because you're ready. It's like the saying that says, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. Well, the teacher's not going to appear until the student's ready, because it won't work otherwise. You try to get somebody sober sitting on a bar stool, it's a lot harder than trying to get somebody sober once they've walked into the AA room that you're sitting in. Okay? New beginnings and a fresh start. St. Michael's just saying that's where the romance angels are trying to help you. So up to the point where I said explore your options And I said to you to get balanced out and get yourself 100% confidence in your worth. That's where the new beginning and the fresh start happens. If you're still sitting in heartbreak and you're still sitting in woe is me, that significant other is not going to come in. And if it does, it will just disintegrate because you will be too low vibed. Prayer will help the situation, and energy healing work is what you have to do here because God is in charge. He's in charge. He might be in charge. Where's charge? God is in charge, so if you can do your energy healing work and prayer will help the situation and detaching from the toxicity. So again, if you walked in on your significant other doing something that you don't like, you would need to leave, not stay for comfort. Not forgive, because remember, we hear a lot about, oh, I have to forgive, I have to forgive. Well, again, we're writing a soul contract for a world mission. And you can forgive, but you do need to detach from the toxic situation and move forward. And I think some of you are still staying in your toxic relationship out of comfort. I also think some of you are staying in your addictions because of comfort. It's not easy to get sober. You're losing your best friend when you get sober. You're losing your best friend when they go out on you. You're losing your best friend when your pet dies. I know these things are very hard, but we have to do them. Okay, so it says keep your eyes on the targeted intention. And again, that just goes back to the soul contract. You want to go back and rewrite your soul contract, even if that takes you to being alone, having to leave everything, maybe even going into a homeless shelter or a violent, abusive shelter, some kind of shelter. I've been in many shelters in my life because when I leave the toxic situations, I usually have nothing. I have no money, I have no food, I have no partner now. So this time around, I had way too much stuff and I had to sell it all. And that's fine. It just was a lot of work. It's been 5 years and I'm ready now, finally. I'm finally balanced out. They always said in AA it takes 5 years to get your head out of hock, or your brain out of hock. And that last 5 years is definitely, my brain is out of hock. Okay, so we're in the Ten of Swords upside down. We're out of that now. So it's again just what I just was saying about my brain's out of hock now. I've went through that dark night of the soul. I've come up to where I need to be, where I'm ready for my divine intervention. My Queen of Wands is kicking out because it's creativity. It's the part of you that just wants to quest. We started with the King of Questing, and here's the Queen of Questing, so we're ending with them both. I'm not feeling this as a bad energy of egotistic. I'm getting an energy of two creative beings coming together in their physical avatar. And if you notice, out of all these cards and all week, only devil we got was in reverse. And I don't even think we got a Seven of Swords. So there's like no devil energy around. It just ain't here no more. The minions are so under us that we're just stepping on them like cockroaches. Okay, so we've got the Three of Pentacles that I can't get away from every single day. And I keep telling you, it's community, it's doing your creative king and queen together in this new project. And you have lots of options. The Seven of Cups, the wheel is turning, the wheel of fortune, everything's turning. So if you were alone, you're going to have that person. If you were poor, you're going to be rich. Does that mean if you're rich, you're going to be poor? If you were with someone, you're going to be alone? Possibly. When the wheel turns, baby, the wheel turns. He is handing you your fourth cup. Your fourth cup is being handed to you, so what you do with it is up to you. I wouldn't settle for less. I would go towards your nine of cups, and I would do it in a three of wands energy where you're walking away from anything that emotionally upsets you. The truth is coming in fast, not slow. It's the King of Swords in reverse. And all I'm getting out of that is your determination has paid off and you're ready to hear the truth. You're ready to be the Hierophant. You're ready to do this. Justice is being served with the Hierophant and the Justice card together, and the Ace of Swords. So you got St. Michael's Sword of Truth, the Hierophant, and the Justice card together. And when we're talking about I'll see you in June, it says she knows, she knows, she knows, 21, 23 on the clock. What does she know? What does he know? That it's time. It's the King of Swords in reverse. It's time. You've arrived, okay? Your determination got you to this Hierophant state. Now, when you're in this Hierophant state and you do arrive in June, there's only 10 days left in June, so I'm thinking that it's going to happen within the next 10 days, something major here. It's going to be showing you the illusions and putting an end to the moon with your Page of Cups and your Knight of Wands. What I'm getting there is I'm getting fast action off the Knight of Wands, illusions being shown to you with the Moon card, and stay in your childlike energy with the Page of Cups. Okay, they're not negative cards, they're just cards that are completing this mustard rhino type of energy. If you haven't read Steve's blog, to sum it up a little bit about mustard is put on something to disguise the taste. That's what I'm getting off that moon card here. Is it's even yellow, is I'm getting that the mustard is being taken off of that sandwich where you can really taste it now. You're really seeing things clearly with this Knight of Wands and the moon, okay? And just stay in your childlike attitude. If you're going to be a king and a queen of questing, the birds just flew in to get their bread. If you're going to be a king and a queen of questing, that creativity, if you're going to make movies and make music and you're going to have fun in the sun, then what needs to transpire? You need to go back to your childlike ways. I'm there. I'm a mature child. I'm a page, right? I can have fun in this. All right, you guys. So we're going to go ahead and just take a few more cards from St. Michael to sum this up. We've got 23:57 on the clock. So I gave you a couple numbers to look up. And this card wants to come out and it says romance angels are helping you. So he wants to just reiterate that the angels are definitely temperance, divine timing. And then we have forgive yourself, you've done nothing wrong. So once again, you're the only one that can get in your own way. And when I said there's no devil energy around, there isn't. There's no devil energy in all of these cards. How many did we pull? Like 50? 3 songs? There's no devil energy anywhere. You are the only one that can get in your own way. So quit thinking that you did something wrong. Even if you're the person that got caught having sex with your wife's best friend or husband's best friend, forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. It was closing out of that cycle. There's no way you can move on to your twin if you were still in that relationship. So you guys wrote in your soul contracts that one of you would be a cheater. The point is not to do it again in the next relationship. The point is to forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong, but then move forward. Okay, so energy healing work comes out again too. So what does that mean? It means you have to work on yourself. Maybe you have a lust problem. Maybe you have a codependent problem. Maybe you have an addiction. There's some reason why you did what you did. So get to the core of what you did. Just like when people come into AA, that's why we study the 12 steps. That's why we do a 6 and 7 step and a 4 and a 5 in the middle so that we get to the root. Because if you don't get to the root, you're just going to keep doing it. And I don't think you want to behave like that in your new relationship. And I don't believe the angels would let that person come in if you still are in any of that. See, 5D manipulates the 4D. So they're not going to let them come in. There's another reason why some of you are 10 years, 5 years, however many years still single. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because they're not letting the good one come in until you're good. And I'm just repeating myself, and so is St. Michael. So I never like to keep repeating myself because the message gets, to me, tainted. So again, new beginning and new start. He repeated 3 of his cards. The only one that was new was forgive yourself. You've done nothing wrong. And I think I went over that just fine with explaining to you that you write your own soul contract. So we're going to end it there. It was a long one. It was a long one, but a good one. 27:17 on the clock. I am Miss Mystic, and I do love you.